Midfielder in, a defender on the way, maybe another midfielder, transfer window, it's all going on. Welcome back to another video on the channel, Newcastle fans. It is all kicking off. Transfer window deadline is approaching, deadline day tomorrow. And as we expected it to be, things are looking exciting. Brilliant news today. I'd already done a video on Guimaraes signing. Again, I still don't think I'm saying that right. From Lyon, 30 million plus. We all expected it to happen, and it is happening. I tell you what, the more I'm reading about him, the more I'm just getting my head around the fact that we signed him. I'm absolutely delighted, and I'm not going to sit here as I did on the last video and say that I know lots and lots about him as a player. I don't watch lots of Lyon. I don't watch lots of Brazil. I'll maybe watch Brazil now and again. But what I have done, as my analysis showed, was I read about him as a player. I knew how sought after he was. I've seen his stats in Europe across the top 5 leagues. And he is a player that a team 18th in the league bringing in, it's fantastic no matter what you see. He's a Brazilian international. He's a flair central midfielder. He's defensively capable. He can carry the ball. He can pass the ball. And I'm absolutely delighted we've brought some quality into that midfield because we've needed it. You know, Hayden's injured, who I'm actually quite a fan of defensively, but Longstaff doesn't really cut the mustard enough. Willock hasn't been there this season, apart from maybe the Leeds game he improved on the last time around. We've needed that midfielder. And my God, 30 million, I mean, regardless of whether he settles in straight away and whether he's a good player, we are spending 30 million pounds on a midfielder after we've already spent 25 on a striker and 20 on a right back. I mean, this is Newcastle United. All we've ever known is loan signings and free transfers under the fat cockney you-know-what for the past 15 years. This is amazing. And, you know, I'm so desperate to get out, to stay in this division this season, not get relegated, because who knows where we could go if this window's anything to go off. But the latest news tonight is Dan Burn coming in from Brighton. Fee's been agreed. I think it's around the 13 million mark. He's travelled up for his medical. It looks like there'll be no issues with this one. I'm delighted with this signing if it goes through. And I'm going to assume on this video that he is going to be a Newcastle player in less than 24 hours, probably in the morning. We've needed a centre-back. We've all been desperate for defenders. I'm not the first to say it. Every Newcastle fan watching this will agree we need centre-backs or, you know, left-backs as well, which we've kind of signed both in this sign, which I'll touch on in a second. But he's a Newcastle lad, and that's what I absolutely love. Came through the Newcastle Academy, played for Darlington. He's always supported Newcastle as a boy. His whole family, when Newcastle play at Brighton at St James's Park, I've been watching him the last couple of seasons. They've come down, and that is just such a rare thing to find now when you get a big money signing. I don't have to say big money, you know, £1 million signing. You don't often get a Newcastle lad through and through. So yes, he'll be on a much bigger pay packet. I've got no doubts about that. But he's desperate to get. He's like the school kid. My hometown club's come in for me. He's like, you know, he's giddy with excitement to sign for us because it's the team he's always supported. So you know from day one when he puts on that Newcastle shirt, that first day at St James's Park, he is like shaking like a shitting dog to get out there, and he's going to give 150%. And that's what all we ask for as Newcastle fans. And that's one thing that I love. But as a player, you know, one of the best things about him, he's not only a centre-back, but for Brighton he's played as a left-back because he's obviously a left-footed defender. So I think there's about 66 games for Brighton he's actually played as a left-back or left wing-back. He's got forward. He averaged about 6 or 7 crosses a game when he has played left-back. He's a threat from set pieces because of his height. I mean, 6'7", a 6'7" centre-back. Imagine me sitting doing the video at 6'7". You just see this for the whole video. There's no tripod big enough. I bet he has to get his car tailored to fit in. So we are signing a monster of a defender. And I think I've looked at the Brighton fans forums. The Brighton fans are devastated that he's gone because he's been integral to everything that they've achieved the past year or so under Potter. And, you know, I'm a big fan of his. They're doing some really good stuff. And I think they'd be a lot higher in the league. I think it's fair to say if they could score goals. Defensively, he's not the problem for Brighton, which says everything about Burn. So we're getting a monstrosity in the air, absolute monster because of his height. So that's a nice reliable source because that's what you want a centre-back to be good at first and foremost, good in the air. But he's also a ball-playing defender. He's not scared to carry the ball. And that's something we're maybe lacking, in my opinion, in Lascelles. Shah's confident with the ball, sometimes a little bit too confident. But Lascelles, when I watch him in the stands, I shit my pants when he carries it, because I'm like, no, oh. Not a problem with Burn. And we're going to be able to slot him in at centre-back, slot him in at left-back. And that's like you're signing 2 players in one. But it's a reliable Premier League defender who fits straight in. There's no settle period. There's no getting to grips with the pace of the game. We are nabbing a starting player for a very, very good Premier League side this season in Brighton Hove Albion. And I'm delighted about it, because the price, say we sign him for 3 years. So he signs for 3 years. We stay up. The money gets chucked at, the club. We go from strength to strength to strength with these new owners. It's a good signing. If we wave him on his merry way in 2 years, but he's helped us stay up and he's seen us improve next season, it's a good signing. 13 million's nothing. And I'm delighted for it. We are doing business very good this summer. Trippier, amazing sign. Looks a future captain for us. Wood, making a relegation rival weaker. Reliable in front of goal in terms of knows where the goal is. Good in the air. In Callum Wilson's absence, smart bit of business. Yes, we paid over the odds, but you've got to sometimes in January. Bruno, the marquee signing. Top European teams have been after him. And I've got no doubts he will ooze class when he's on that football field, when he makes his debut. Might take a bit of a settling in period, but he is the marquee wow factor. And then we sign a reliable centre-back in Burn. I'm over the moon. Obviously, let us know in the comments what you guys think about this player coming in. But if we can just add a couple of players in the next 24 hours, and I've got no doubts it's going to be all systems go. I'm going to be scrolling all day on my phone. I'm not going to get any work done tomorrow. Sky Sports News is going to be either on my phone, my tablet, I'll have it on the radio, I'll be looking in the window in TV shops like the olden days when you used to watch the teletext. I will be glued. I can't wait. So let's just see what happens in the next 24 hours. Bruno's through the door, one of the best European midfielders around at the moment, Brazilian international. Wow. Dan Burn, established Premier League centre-back, through the door. Lingard being linked. More players to come. Our season starts as of midnight tomorrow night, once we get a couple more in, fingers crossed, with 2 home games to come. However, lads, I'm beaming, smiling.